Den är inte tung.
Nej, inte så farligt faktiskt.
Pjäs. Det är sjukt bra.
Det är inte så att man så här...
Den går i rött och brunsvart.
Ja, liksom, vad ska man säga? Flammorna ser ut.
Kan du få ner här, flam? Om den kan få den att leva liksom. Det är ju galet snygg.
Ja,
Det är jättehäftigt med björken.
Ja.
So, this guitar started off as a Gibson B2 in satin black.
Yes.
How was that as a guitar when you got it?
A bit dull.
Yeah.
It was a good guitar, but a bit, well, not so spectacular.
No, it was, and you said because of the cheap lacquer, it was
Awesome.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was paper thin, so it was very easy to get rid of.
Yeah. How did you feel about modifying a Gibson like this?
A bit scary because of the Gibson. Well, the traditional people, you shouldn't touch a Gibson, but
Yeah.
it was a newer Gibson.
Yeah, and it was a cheap model.
Yes.
You wouldn't have done it with a custom shop, maybe.
Of course not.
No.
So,
But we kept the Gibson soul. We kept the original logo. So, what did you do with it? What was the first thing?
first thing was get rid of lacquer, and then I steamed off heated off the fretboard, the old one.
And there was some problems with the fretboard that you didn't realize from the beginning.
Yeah,
right?
the neck was, the fretboard or the neck was a bit crooked.
Yeah.
So I had to fix that, straighten it up and stuff like that. So
do you think it was crooked from damage or from?
probably from when we were sanding it and
Okay, so
shaping. It can be sometimes when you go.
so in the Gibson shop they didn't do it good.
Or maybe they it's easy to shape it to get it a bit uneven because the fretboard is straight, but when it comes down to the neck, depending on how much of the rounding you can get the neck to be a bit not that straight all the time.
And you found something funny underneath the board. What was that?
Well, I lost it now, but it was like a sticker with like a code on some kind of like a, I don't know what it was.
I think I read about it that they did that like a card with a code for checking the authenticity. So if they are out on the market, they can just read it and see this is exactly what. So it's not a Gibson, it's a Gibson, and that is the authenticity. I don't know if they do it all the time, but they did it on this one. You realized something about the length of because this, if you film this the original fretboard is
a bit shorter.
a couple of millimeters shorter here.
So it's not exactly 24.75 inches.
No. And why is that?
Well, Gibson say that it's 24 that scale, but it's actually 24.56 or something like that. So
I read something about that there's an exact scale and there's a relative scale.
Could be.
Something like that. They measure a couple of points.
Yeah.
And then they kind of take the medium points or something. I don't know why. I have some Gibsons with this scale and some Gibson with that scale. But this in the end, this is moved like 3 or 4 millimeters, right?
Like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So you had to move the pickups and everything.
Yeah,
And you can see if you come here, because this alignment is as close as the original as we can get, and if you this line on the original, that pot is in line here. So here you can see this has moved forward, and this is because of the new scale. So on the original, that will be in a straight line.
That's obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, not obvious, but I haven't thought that much about it, but that's...
What material did you use for the top? Because I wanted a maple top, right?
You want the maple, and I suggested we could go for birch.
Yeah.
Since we have a lot of birch in Sweden, and
since it's a Swedish build on an American ground, so to speak.
So, and birch is kind of similar to maple. It's like light wood and got some spectacular figures.
But birch are usually more flat, right? And this is
usually
more spectacular.
Yeah, and they can be more spectacular than this even, but usually it's more plainer and a bit more.
And you actually got the shoes from several different pieces, right?
Yeah, from a guy in Gävle.
Yeah.
Who has this sawmill, Bäckström.
Yeah.
Woodwork or wood. And he sent some examples of the wood that he had, and we thought this one was the best pick.
It's really nice, and we tried different layouts with how to put this piece to get the grain in the most spectacular ways. And like we shows it now, it's almost like it's on fire.
Yeah,
it's quite cool. There was another thing that we didn't know when you started, and that's if you film here, that the binding gets thinner and thinner here. It's all the same around, and then it gets thinner here. And that is why?
Because Gibson sand the last part of the body in the angle of the neck. So it's like a bit flatter. It's also on the flying V's nowadays. Also sanded.
They didn't always do that, is that?
No, I think your 80s guitars have like this lip, and usually I don't build it that way. I put like some wood under to build it up to do the angle, so you keep like the body flat. But it's nothing wrong with that. It's kind of a cool feature.
It's a really cool feature. And this is real mother of pearl, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Another thing we talked about was this. I wanted this aged white. But the small ones is white.
Yeah,
right?
white.
And that is because
it's kind of hard to source the cream like the purflings, and usually it's kind of hard to like get a good match with the creams as well. And I haven't found this like yellowish that works.
Okay. What tuners do we have?
Grover.
Locking tuners, right?
Yeah, locking. Good tuners. Some dust.
And also this original was routed for a pickguard.
Yeah.
So this top is solid, but so that then we had to change the switch.
Yep.
And you had to make this hole, right?
The hole for the switch.
Yeah.
And there's a channel underneath the top.
Yeah. And this is the original mahogany.
Yep.
And we were lucky that it was nice. It's 3 pieces, but that it was beautiful.
Yeah, it's
because since it was one of their cheaper models and it was set in black, we had no idea what to find underneath.
No,
but this looks like super.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with this. And 3-piece, no problem at all.
And from what I heard, the B2 model is really the original line of material they use, but they put on cheaper lacquer and you get it with a gig bag.
Yeah.
That's why they keep it down. But in all, it's just the regular wood for the regular production.
Yeah, I think it looks great, the wood.
So that's it. And this was also a challenge to have, because I wanted this 5-ply binding here. And if you see the logo, it almost touches. And that was something, because if this would have gone into the logo, we would have had to redo the logo.
Yeah.
And that, what I felt was like making it not a Gibson anymore.
Exactly.
Like taking the soul of it. That would be almost no use of putting a Gibson logo on it after all this modification.
No.
But since we could keep it like this, it's untouched.
Yeah.
It's still what it was from the beginning, just new clothes.
Exactly. So that's, I think that's a nice feature as well.
Yeah, it's a really cool one. It was pretty exact. It's actually much more shiny and it looks much better now. So you did something with it. What pickups do we have in this?
Was it Bergsbacher? I think.
No, I think it's this for...
490.
Yeah.
Okay.
And usually we do super distortions or Duncan distortions, but I had them and I wanted to try them.
Yeah.
That's why maybe they will go, maybe they will stay. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's good for a try, and also for having the traditional sound of what that was what they used in the 90s, I think, both for Flying V's and Explorers.
Yeah, I think sometimes the Flying V's had the 500.
Okay.
I think I'm not too sure.
Okay.
On which models and stuff like that, but.
Yeah, it's a really, really nice work. It's a fantastic guitar, and now I just have to take it on the roads and try it out.
And do some scratches.
And do some scratches. And this is the thing, if you would order something like this from the custom shop, which Gibson wouldn't even do, but maybe then I wouldn't dare to play it.
No.
Now, I mean, your work is as good, but it's still a molested guitar.
Yeah.
It's still not original.
No.
So I might as well just use it.
Yeah.
But it will hurt a bit with to make the first part. But since we play with spikes and leathers and stuff like that, it will be banged up. But maybe it will look extra cool for being so fancy, and it will be worn. So.
And I think guitars should be used.
Yeah. I have your approval. Okay, thanks for this.
Thank you.